So we've got the boat on its side. That's the beauty with a mirror dinghy, is it's so small, it's quite easy to manhandle. I'm trying to do this with one hand now, but I use this little scraper to sort of get started like that. And then actually it's easier to just pick it off, although I'm not. That's it. So you get it started, and then if you're careful, it'll just peel off quite easily. It's a shame, I don't really want to get rid of the name, but the name sign, but I think I've got to really. I can't really sand the whole boat and just miss this little bit out, so I just have to sand that quickly manually. So I'm going to get on and do all of this now. So that's one side completely gone. I've sanded it. That's ready to go. Let's flip the boat around and do the other side. And there's the other side. So you see that side's done, that side's done. Just gave them a very quick sand to get rid of all the residue. It's very sad actually. It's very a bit don't know how I feel about removing the name of the boat. It feels a little bit awful really, but it'll be back. We're not changing the name, and I'm gonna go and get some really nice vinyl stickers done hopefully. So, and maybe we'll take the opportunity to change where the name goes. So maybe put it on the stern of the boat like a real yacht, or on the back here might be nice, you know, just make a change. So the boat's turned over, as you know, and there's only one thing to do now really. I'm going to primer the bare areas of the wood, and then give that 24 hours, and then the boat will be ready to be painted, or the hull, sorry, will be ready to be painted. So let's get on and do that. So I think originally, before I put the primer on, I wasn't going to touch these rubbing strips, but I think because there's a screw missing there anyway that I've noticed, I'm just going to take this front one off and have a little look at it. If that one's in a, needs something doing to it, I might take the other ones off, but these ones here and at the back, they don't go into any of the buoyancy tanks, whereas here from about, I'd say about there, this is buoyancy tank. I'm pretty sure there's a good piece of wood in there that, means nothing would leak into the buoyancy tank. But I think for the sake of 5 seconds, just to take this off, have a very little look, we'll see if there's any issues underneath. So some of these screws, I'm going to find it difficult to get these front two off, so I've been really careful. Let's just have a little look under. And you can see under there is pretty decent condition. So I'm gonna screw that back down, and I think we're fine with that. I may put a little bit of epoxy down those holes, but I'm gonna screw that down. I think we're good to go on those. So for the next phase, I've put the strip back on. There's two things we need to do. First of all, any bare wood like this or these pieces here, they need to be treated with the yacht primer. And this is my auto baler or self baler, and it's never leaked. I've never had leaks in the hull. So, but I've noticed there's a little bit of filler or something going on here. So I've sanded it out as much as what I can. And I think I'm just going to put a little bit of epoxy in there just to, make sure there's no leaks and bed that in. So for the primer, I'm going to use these brushes. These are like, believe it or not, these are £2 for a whole pack from the local cheap art shop. So I'm just going to use these little brushes because, I think the largest bit of primering is that bit there. So we're going to acetone the whole boat down, give it a good clean, and then we're going to get painting. So I've mixed up quite a thick little paste of epoxy actually. because I figure it needs to be a really good filler. And we're just going to dab it on here. We're going to try and get it down this little hole here a little bit. Well, there's not a hole, but there's like a little crack there. I'm just going to get it in here. I'm fast learning that epoxy is quite good stuff. It's really tough and strong, and it can do a whole multitude of things if used correctly. I'm learning how to use it correctly, which is why I have a £500 mirror dinghy, because it's the ideal boat to learn on. With respect, Mocking D, but if I make any mistakes, you know, they're either cheap to put right, or they are, you know, it's not the end of the world, if you know what I mean. You know, it's not like I'm going to be in the middle of the Atlantic and something's going to fail. So, you know, blodging this on a bit because it's really easy to sand down, and I'd rather get all these little nooks and crannies. You can see it's not even, it's so thick here, it's not even settling down where I've kind of dabbed it on. It's staying in little peaks and troughs, so we'll just have to make sure we make it completely above and raised. And the main thing is to just get these little gaps and cracks that have appeared around the edge of here. Not that it's been a problem, but now it hopefully definitely won't be a problem. And then it won't harm really because this self bay is a little bit raised, you know, it won't harm just to sort of smooth this in a little bit. If anything, it'll make it a little bit more water, it'll go through the water a little bit better. I was going to say aerodynamic there, but is that the right word to use for water? So again, I'm not paying massive attention to how I put it on, because I'm going to make it good when I sort of sand it up. But I just want to make sure that, you know, it's nice and secure. With me, you know, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but by trade I'm an engineer, did a bit of software, but I think my passion is, you know, big stuff. I love engines and stuff like this, really. So for me, it's always form over, I think the phrase is form over beauty. Others would disagree. And then, you know, I would disagree in the right place. I mean, you know, Apple iPhones are beautiful things, and you know, I guess quite rightfully so. But for me, I want something to work. I don't want it. I don't want it to look good. Looking good's a bonus. So I do like beauty and I do like art and all of that. But when it's comes down to your boat on the sea and whatnot, it's got to work before. So if it works and it's beautiful, brilliant. If it's beautiful, don't work, that's not what we're after. And I'm going to just stop rambling now, because that's me rambling away. Now, it's quite warm in here now. I've had the heater on all morning, so it's 17 degrees, so I'm hoping this will go off quite quickly. It's not running at all. Now, I did also forget to just do the back of the boat. I've actually got to be really careful, because this is very thin plywood. You can see how it moves. If I was to fall and my elbow hit that, there's a very high chance I could go through. And that is not what we want to do. So I'm just going on the back here. I forgot that I haven't sanded the back here yet, but I've also forgot that I did this. You know, these are the through holes I made for the motor pad, which have been highly successful, but I just split the wood a little bit there. So I did put some Gorilla epoxy just to make the wood good inside, and that's worked brilliantly. But we just need a little bit more to make these holes flush. So that'll do, I think. That's the Pintle and the, I forget what this piece is called, Pintle and mantle, I think. And then the little clip that makes sure the rudder's clipped in. These screws on the back of this are amazingly long. They're huge. They're like 2 inches. So I've made sure the screws are in the same place. So that's like left the back clear. I just need to give that a sand, but the stern is really good condition. It doesn't need any filling or anything other than what I've done for the holes there. So the boat is primed, first coat. So there's not much else I can do now. I think we've got to wait 2 hours, let it get touch dry at least, then perhaps we can get the boat on its side. We can have another look inside and see if we can finish off the epoxying. And yep, and then it will be done for the day, unfortunately. That's the thing I hate most about painting and varnishing, is it's kind of a quick job, but you got to wait. It's the waiting times, really. So what we might do is turn to all the chandlery here and do some bits with that as well when we're varnishing. We're going to get the boat off its trailer or trolley, and we're going to focus on the hull today, and then we'll hopefully, Amazon tend to come here in the afternoon, so hopefully by the time the hull's had its first coat of paint, we'll be able to then, it'll be tacky dry, we'll be able to turn the boat back over and finish this job today or this afternoon, and then it's a case of waiting for things to dry. So that's where we are. Yeah, we've got to crack on. We are running a little bit, which is a shame, but I'll come back when it's setting. And what I found is you can still manipulate it when it's, you know, nearly set. You can manipulate it. So that's that. So that's the boat, kind of all the repair work on the hull done, really. Is there a little? No, nothing there. There's nothing really to do on the hull now. I'll just top up the front when it dries. We'll let this dry. I'm going to do the primering, and then that will probably be it for one day. Painting a boat takes time, and there's not much you can do about it.